Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's go on a Wednesday. Going to be a high of 55 today. A little breezy outside. Do my eyes look red?
Yes.
What have you been smoking?
Nothing, but I just about 5 minutes ago, I rubbed the corner of my eye, and now I feel like I have endless eye gunk, and I'm worried I have pink eye.
Oh, get your hands out of your eyes right now.
And keep them away from us.
Wait, let me see you. Yeah, your eyes are red. I'll let you know if they start, like, glassing over and you start...
I don't know. I got extra eye gunk.
You might.
Like you've been rubbing the hell out of it.
Do you go grocery shopping and you don't clean off the cart handle?
What?
No, I usually clean off the car handle.
Okay.
I'm afraid someone snuck into my bedroom and farted on my pillow.
Maybe they just did it straight on your face.
That could be it, too.
Yeah. While you were asleep.
It could be it. I did feel a warm breeze last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I heard kind of like it was like a ghost sigh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that might explain it. Okay. How's your morning?
It's great, fart face.
Okay, awesome.
That day yesterday was nuts. Was anybody outside at all in the wind?
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, the wind felt like it was like hurricane force. It was crazy.
Really? No, actually, I actually spent the entire day inside. I went home, took a nap, got a little work done on the laptop, and then I met the boss for dinner. So I was just inside all day.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me assure you that it's a good thing you don't have a dog because it was a nightmare out there yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It was crazy.
Vic, how are you?
I'm good. I'm wondering about my Sonic Temple wristbands.
Okay.
Well, they were delivered in Urban Crest on April 4th, and then they headed to the Postal Service, the USPS, and that's where they're at. Headed for 12 days, they've been headed from Urban Crest to the United States Postal Service here, and that's Urban Crest 10 minutes away from us.
I have had something hung up at Urban Crest before. I have, and I'm like watching it, and it's just been like, I never got an update past Urban Crest, and it sounds like you've gotten an update past Urban Crest.
Well, I just said it headed from Urban Crest to USPS, but then it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Where it's 12 days. It's 10 minutes away.
Yeah, that you have a little anxiety over this?
Yeah, because I'm seeing other complaints of the same thing on Sonic Temple's Facebook page, along with other weird things, like they just got an envelope that was half open. One of the wristbands was missing. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Hey.
Uh-oh.
This is 3 weeks from tomorrow is Sonic Temple.
All right, let's take some deep breaths and head over to Urban Crest. See what's going on over there.
Excuse me, can you thumb through those packages over there? Let me know if you've got my tickets, my wristbands. Yeah, I'd be a little concerned, kids.
Anybody else going through this? Text us at 99700. Did they finally get to the post office from Urban Crest? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
They would just do digital. I guess you physically need the wristband.
Yeah.
When I bought my latest Kindle, it hung up in Urban Crest for an entire week.
Okay.
And I was like, what is going on? Can I just drive there and pick it up? Like,
Did
literally.
You say your latest Kindle?
My latest Kindle, yeah.
You multiple, or?
Well, the newer version.
Oh, you burned through them that fast?
Yeah, baby. I burned through those Kindles like you can't believe.
Really? All right.
I wanted a Paperwhite, so splurged on it. Yeah, but I'm just saying that things do hang up there for some reason, but never had it happen that long.
Yeah.
Let's track these down, baby.
Good luck.
Yeah, Goose, if your weekend wristband, you can't take it off the whole weekend.
Is it one of those like? So it's not like the cheap paper one with the peel off sticky bag. It's one of those like
you pull it tight.
Yeah, pull it tight.
Yeah.
But don't pull it too tight because I might need to use it to go to the restroom.
Okay.
I always have to borrow people's to go into the fancy restroom because I don't want to. I don't want to pee with the normals.
Then then she flushes your wristband down the toilet.
Hey,
Whoops.
It's only happened once.
Whoops. Let's get the morning started. Big Blitz morning trivia. What you got?
All right, so the girls went up on the ship to go to outer space. Katy Perry and Gayle King and them, and when they came back, there was an announcement they're back. Katy Perry has returned, and a fast food restaurant tweeted out, "Can we send her back?"
Man,
I'm like, man,
harsh.
people hate Katy Perry. So, what fast food restaurant chain tweeted, Can we send her back regarding Katy Perry coming back from space? Be the first one to text in the fast food restaurant at 99-700, and we will give you $25 to go spend at waterbeds and stuff.
Let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick.
All right, Katy Perry, Gayle King, they all came back from space yesterday, and when it was announced Katy was back, a fast food restaurant tweeted out, can we send her back? And we asked who was the fast food restaurant. It was Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're known for their snarky comments. Whoever runs their social media pages is amazing. They're always ripping it. Wendy's is always ripping on people.
I know, and people will get on there and play along, and they'll go back and forth. But and then it was funny because Kesha saw it, so then Kesha shared a photo on there of herself smiling kind of mischievously.
Yep.
With drinking from a Wendy's cup because, they have beef, Kesha and Katy Perry.
Oh, I did not know that.
Over Dr. Luke, that was the one that whatever that whole drama was, but it's whatever. Anyway, so it was Wendy's, and Cayenne Adams from Mansfield was first one to text in the correct answer, so she's got $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Congratulations. Speaking of going to space, Blue Origin, back in 2021, sold a seat on the space shuttle. $28 million.
To go to the edge.
Yeah, which if I had $28 million, I would absolutely do it. If that was just pocket change to me,
yeah,
I'd have no problem buying that seat whatsoever. But I bring that up because BBC Science put together a list of the most expensive things on Earth. If you were to lay down some cash to buy said items, these are the most expensive things you can buy. Starting at helium-3. $96,000 per gram if you wanted to buy some helium-3.
Per gram.
Yep.
All right.
Emeralds, rubies, and sapphires. $483,000 per gram.
Man.
Red diamonds, if you wanted to buy a red diamond, $4.7 million per gram.
I don't even know what does a red diamond even look like?
No clue. Apparently, you can get your hands on samples from the Bennu asteroid that hit us. $9.6 million per gram.
Wow.
If you wanted to own some asteroid.
I don't want any of this stuff so far.
These red diamonds look pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I bet they look really cool. Absolutely. Number 3 on the list, Californium-252, which is used in nuclear reactors.
Okay.
Will cost you $25.6 million per gram.
Wow.
More expensive than that, the nitrogen atom-based Enderderol fluorinase.
Okay.
$134 million per gram.
Do we know what that does?
No clue.
Oh, my gosh. This is all like military stuff, isn't it?
Oh.
No wonder we spend so much damn money on
Right.
the military.
And finally, the most expensive thing on Earth. If you want to get your hands on some antimatter, it's going to cost you $59.8 trillion per gram.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Who's heading out and be like, I really need to get my hands on some antimatter. Like, where do they keep it?
I don't know, but if you do, you're going to have some guys in black suits at your door.
You think? So you're saying there's not like an antimatter store? You're not just walking in.
Like the back area of Sharper Image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the Beyond is in Bed Bath & Beyond and why they went out of business, because they just couldn't sell that antimatter.
Yeah, I don't, it's not like it's plentiful. Very tiny amounts have been created to actually create it. Like in labs by scientists, they might be able to create a couple grams. So that's...
I really want to know who's got their hands on some antimatter. Yeah. Just saying. There you go. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
So, Nora and I are not necessarily actively planning any kind of wedding, but being engaged, we're talking about it, and we've both been there before, so it's not like we're going to have some grand 200-person ballroom giant ceremony, then everyone shows up at the reception sort of thing. It's going to be like we go, and then we throw a big party afterwards. That's it. And so a couple of weeks ago, she jokingly sent me a link. There's a Taco Bell in Las Vegas that now has a wedding chapel, and they're doing Taco Bell weddings where you get like a bouquet of sauces as your flowers, and you get a catered meal, and it's up to like 25 people or something like that. And we would totally be fine with doing something fun like that. I would love it. I think
they
it's
do
great.
it here at White Castle on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
They have like mass wedding.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Well, if you're into the themed weddings and you happen to be a Star Wars fan, well, this is for you because the Little Vegas Chapel is offering Star Wars themed weddings this year on May 4th, which of course is known as Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. There's 2 packages available. Yoda one for me. And Love Star instead of the Death Star. Both offer an officiant dressed as either Princess Leia or Darth Vader. Even the wedding certificate is Star Wars themed. You can get a picture with a stormtrooper. Now, here's the thing. You can only book this for May 4th. Packages start at about $600, and then the Yoda one for me is $860. But again, not a bad deal. Getting married for under $1,000. I did learn, though, if you do plan on getting married in Vegas, you have to go to the whatever they call it, the Secretary of State first. You got to get your marriage license first, and then go and do your wedding somewhere, and they'll sign it.
All
So,
right.
if you're into themed weddings, that might be for you.
Yeah.
Jedi scum.
In your second story, we're going to call this the duh story of the day. That is because I don't know who gets paid to write articles like this, but it's pretty obvious. This comes from KRO Channel 7 News. They did a article about what $100,000 is worth across the country. If you make $100,000 a year, what is that worth? And the first line of the article, basically, in the key findings, says $100,000 goes less far in New York City's boroughs of Manhattan and other places than it would in places like Nebraska.
Nah.
What? You don't say. Actually, it is kind of crazy. $100,000 salary has $30,362 worth of spending power in New York City, in Manhattan. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts. You're only getting 36% of your money, basically, or that's basically what it's worth. This says $100,000 goes further in Texas and Oklahoma City, specifically Oklahoma City and El Paso and Corpus Christi are saying those are the really good cities where you get $100,000 or more of your money, upwards of about $89,000 is what $100,000 is worth in cities like El Paso. And then if you want to live in some bigger cities, Columbus, pretty high on the list, $77,647. Is what your $100,000 is worth in Columbus, right there with Phoenix and Durham, North Carolina, and Miami is a little bit below that, which that seems kind of odd. I would think Miami would be a bit more expensive, but you're still getting about $69,000 worth of your money in Miami. So, in case you make that $100,000 worth salary, now you know what it's worth. Here in Columbus, about $77,647. That's your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. I want to share a couple tidbits of information that I learned last night as I was doom scrolling before bed that I found quite interesting. The first one really made me pause and think, and I can't believe this hasn't been talked about more. The first thing is called the Batman problem.
Okay.
Now, I'm a fan of Batman. I love the original 66 TV show and movie and how campy and cheesy it is. Although I was more of a Marvel guy growing up when I was into comic books, not a DC guy. But then, of course, you have, it all starts with Michael Keaton, obviously, in '89, and the multiple renditions of Batman there have been. But no one's really talked about this, and someone brought it up. I don't know if it was a podcast but I saw it on TikTok, and it really made me pause for a minute. And that is the fact that you've got Bruce Wayne, who is obviously a multi-billionaire.
Right.
And as a child, he sees his parents murdered. So obviously he's got feelings of society and trying to care for society and law-abiding citizens and things of that nature. If you've got billions of dollars and you think of Gotham as basically like a New York City or a Los Angeles, it's a major city, obviously.
Yeah.
At the average salary of $75,000 a year for a police officer, you could hire 13,333 police officers to help out in Gotham City. But no, you're one person trying to cover the entire city and take care of crime. Why not have 13,333 more police officers? You know how much crime you could stop with 13,333 police officers versus one person? Why not better spend your money?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, but you're going to give them all Batmobiles?
I feel like it doesn't make as good of a movie.
Probably not.
Did you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
I'm just saying, that would be a better solution. Let's put it out there. Thing number 2 that came up that I want to share with you is if you don't feel like exercising, but you're like, man, I really need to do something. There's a kind of interesting article here from a study in the journal called Circulation. They found out that if you don't want to work out, there is a way to still get healthier. Just do everything faster. This is an actual article. Researchers tracked the movements of 24,000 adults for a week, none of whom got regular exercise or went to the gym on a regular basis. And the ones who did their tasks more briskly saw major health benefits even years later. For some, their heart attack and stroke risks went down by more than half.
Okay, I'm loving this. Go on.
So,
like if I have to go, what? Okay, vacuum.
Vacuum.
My vacuum. Just do it really fast?
Speed vacuum.
Speed vacuum.
Or walk faster when you take out the trash.
Okay.
Or at the grocery store.
Or at the grocery store.
I can do all this.
Yes, because that is still a physical exertion more than just a regular, at regular pace. Genius. And they say it has really shown some great benefits. It's a good way to fit some sort of exertion into your daily life. Doesn't mean you have to actually exercise. Just start doing things faster. I might have to give this a try. Because I'm really at the point now where I'm like, I've visited 2 gyms already in town. I'm like, do I want to sign up for a membership? Am I going to go?
No, it's such a commitment.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've done it before. I've done the gym thing. I was steady 5-6 months. I was going 3 times a week. But then you miss one day. You're like, I'll go tomorrow. And once that second day rolls around, if you miss that second day, it's game over. You're like, I don't really.
Have you ever gone and sat in the parking lot of your gym and been like, nope, I can't do this today?
I have not done that before.
Have done that. Yeah.
I don't want to. And I know for a fact when I really just I have deep feelings and remember those times where I was going to the gym and I was like, just push through.
Yeah.
I would jog and I would jog on the treadmill and I was like, all right, I'm going to get to the 3.2 mile. I'm going to do a 5K.
Yeah.
And by the time I was done,
you feel good.
So much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
Sleep better.
Oh. And you lift some weights, and you're like, oh. And then when you finally start to see some results,
that's when
you're like, oh, look at the little pecs I got going on. It's amazing. But then you miss out one day. I'll go tomorrow. No, I'll go tomorrow. And then it just falls completely off. So just do things a little bit faster. It's 997 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Court today for the man arrested after a road rage shooting on I-70 in Columbus yesterday morning. Columbus police say 33-year-old Dwayne Pittman has been charged with felonious assault. Authorities say Pittman admitted to firing shots out of his vehicle at another driver on 70 West near West Mound Street. The victim, identified only as Jesse, he did some sort of an interview with 10 TV. He was taken to the hospital with injuries to his face. It looks like the bullet really decently grazed the side of his face. He said he lost 2 teeth in the incident and has stitches. The suspect, Dwayne Pittman, was working for a contractor that works with the city of Columbus. He has been fired. And I guess the victim, Jesse, was on his way back home to Galloway from getting chemotherapy, and the two were said to be brake checking each other. Jesse claims he was not brake checking, but this other guy was driving erratically, etc. I'm sure they each have their side of the story, but yes, the shooter will be in court this morning. The FDA says you'd better make sure your Ozempic prescription is legit. The agency has several hundred fake versions of the drug they've confiscated in the U.S. The maker of Ozempic and the weight loss drug Wegovy, which is a Novo Nordisk, says counterfeit 1 milligram injections were being distributed outside the authorized supply chain, and they've confiscated, they think, most of it, but there may still be some out there. You can go to the FDA website for the lot number and serial numbers of the affected injections. Now, this is a really interesting issue. The FDA says, listen, the real Ozempic comes with side effects like stomach issues and things like that. So it won't be easy for you to tell if you're using the counterfeit stuff.
Oh, no. But here's the thing. I mean, so counterfeit as in almost like a placebo, I would have to assume, because
it's not the compounded stuff. That's legal.
Right.
The compounded versions.
I would hate for it to be like, hey, this stuff is fake, or we're recalling it. You can't use this stuff because we want you to pay for Ozempic or Wegovy.
Yes, that's the case. You've nailed it. Right here is that this is like an unauthorized supply chain that's put this into the supply. Okay. Somehow it got around whatever and was
but
able
it still does the same
I guess
thing.
I think that it's I don't know, man.
So it's like a knockoff
I
version?
wouldn't want to go. No, it's not.
It's
the
not.
knockoff compounded versions are legal.
Legal, right.
This is not a legal lot that's in the supply. But I don't think it's a placebo. But I also don't know. Maybe they didn't get the mix right or something. Who knows?
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't take anything that wasn't, like, authorized.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't want,
But I hear what you're saying.
I don't want a illegal cheap version, but a less expensive option.
Yeah, give me a generic,
nice.
man.
Generic, right.
Please. Yeah.
So to come in and just be like, no, wait a minute. That's our market. You can't sell it cheaper. But if it's not as good or potentially dangerous, that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get mad at me, but a jury has finally been seated in the Karen Reed trial. It took 10 days to seat 18 jurors, 9 men and 9 women. 12 of them will serve as jurors, 6 as alternates. But we will not get opening statements until next week. This morning, motions hearings will be held, and then there's no court scheduled for Thursday, Friday, or Monday because of the Easter holiday and then Patriots Day in Massachusetts. So opening arguments will be held on Tuesday. If you want to watch the trial, which we all do, it'll be streaming live on CBS News Boston from opening statements all the way through the verdict.
Do all of us want to watch it?
A lot of us do, Goose. A lot of us want to watch this bad boy.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, a third of the people in this room want to watch it. That's a large number.
33.33%. Good chunk.
All right, those are your 3 things.
Obviously, if you're a musician or a writer of music, it's a very personal thing. A lot of people put their feelings and their stories out there through their music. And sometimes you learn about people through their music. And there's been a song around since the 80s that a lot of us know and love. And it had a real story behind it. And a lot of people took that as the kind of this person's story. Almost real life experience, if you will. But as it turns out, we have been lied to completely. Bryan Adams was just on a podcast talking music and such. And he started talking about his most popular song, Summer of '69. The song we all know and love.
I got my first real 6-string, rolled it out to 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69.
I mean, who doesn't just sing at the top of their lungs when this song comes on? Come on. Well, we've learned some things about this song now. Here's Bryan Adams on the podcast talking about some very important lyrics, including getting his guitar at the 5 and dime and the summer of '69.
When I was 12, I went to visit my uncle in Reading and told him that I wanted to buy an electric guitar. And he took me down to the shop, a music shop in Reading, and I still have that electric guitar. It's an Italian thing. Can't remember the name of it. It's an imitation Stratocaster.
He went to a music store that
Not
sells
the 5
instruments. He
and
didn't
dime.
go to a 5 and dime. What a lie. An absolute lie. And then, of course, the name of the song, The Summer of 69. Here's what he had to say about that. Oh, I thought you had another clip. I'm sorry. No. The Summer of 69, what he said was, it's not about the year, because in the 1969, he'd have been 8 years old. He wasn't doing those things when he was 8 years old. So in case you didn't know,
he said he was 12.
Yeah.
When he got the guitar.
Right. But no, he was 8 years old at the time. So the summer of 69 actually has nothing to do with the actual year of 69. He's actually talking about sexy time.
Summer of love.
The summer of love. A specific sexual reference for the summer of 69. I feel completely lied to.
But if that's true, then where's the lie?
Maybe not a lie. I just think most people took it as, he's talking about the year.
You thought it was autobiography.
1969.
Yeah. And now
not the case.
Not an autobiography, and it's not the summer of 1969.
No, it is doing 69. Lied to.
Summer of love.
Lied to.
But I've known that for years. That it was Summer of Love.
Oh.
Yeah, that's been a thing for years.
I always thought it was 1969.
But the only thing I was hung up on was the 5 and dime. Can a music store be a 5 and dime? A used music, used equipment?
No, I mean, Five and dimes were known as general stores where they had all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you called the general store back in the day, was the
like
Five and
like
Dime.
an old
like
Walmart.
A Woolworths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to share this story with you. This is kind of cool. I give it up for Willie Ballard. If you don't know the name, he is a sideline reporter for the Atlanta Braves. And during the telecast the other day, he was doing his thing. He walks around the park. He talks to people. He does interviews with the players, things like that. And he happened to be up in one of the fan areas. And he is talking to two attractive blondes who are up in the fan area. That thing was stuck at the edge of my nose forever. Sorry. Apologize. So Willie Ballard is on TV talking to the other reporters, and this is what went down.
Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren. And I'm Kayla.
And you guys hang out at the Rooftop Lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers. Come on it. All right, so they want me to get your number.
What a lie!
I'm dead serious.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. You just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago. I got the number. We're good.
What a move! My man got himself some digits. I think that's genius. Walk around with a microphone. There's actually a trend where you've got some like college age guys that are going out to like these bars and cities and interviewing women and asking them some very personal questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are the club goers, the scantily clad women. But at the end of almost every quote unquote interview, he's getting phone numbers.
Huh.
I think you get him just talking a little bit.
Yeah, well, isn't that how the Hawk Tua girl was born? I just walked up and asked her.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So that might be the move. Start carrying a little microphone around with you. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Remember Joe Namath? Like everybody, when he was like drunk, didn't he ask if he could kiss that girl?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it smells of a little bit of.
You think it's a little creepy?
I don't know if I think it's creepy, but I wonder if in 15 years, we'll be like, that was really inappropriate. Is it slightly inappropriate to be asking for girls' numbers, or are girls just whipping their numbers at guys like?
Well, what else are you supposed to do?
I mean, meet the normal way, man. Get on Hinge.
But so now the websites are the normal way to meet someone.
I guess.
I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you.
But going back, I think this is kind of going in reverse now. Like you said, if the apps and the websites are now considered normal, let's go back to just talking to each other.
Okay,
Actually
what
getting
if
the number.
A female sideline reporter did that to a player?
Got his number?
Yeah, I said, hey, on the air. Hey, can I get your number? Would people feel fine about that too? I'm just asking.
I would think so.
I could care less. Get somebody's number any way you can. It's hard to meet people around here.
Exactly.
I get it. I don't hate it.
I think a man would be flattered if he was asked for his number.
And you have full agency to say no. Nobody's forcing you to give your number to anybody.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, I guess I really don't hate it.
Okay, good. I'm glad we brought you around.
You did.
99.7 The Blitz. I love this story. I'm not surprised by this story. Let me put it that way. Someone online shared a photo of a receipt they had at a pizza place in Indiana. That's all they said. It was a pizza place in Indiana. And it's not one of those restaurants that intentionally picks on you like, Dick's Last Resort or... what's that other one in Chicago?
Ed
DeBevick's, yeah. where they're deliberately mean to you, crack jokes, things like that. No, this man actually had a bitching fee on his receipt. The restaurant charged him $5 for complaining. Now, here's the thing. He had a bit of a complaint because he ordered a beer. They brought him a beer. They brought him the wrong beer. And so he admits that, yes, I did, quote, complain, but I wasn't whining. He just said, hey, you gave me the wrong beer. Can I have the right beer? And sure enough, when the receipt showed up, right there, printed on the receipt, bitching fee, $5. Now, he says that they did get a laugh out of it. He says that, sure, he talked to the manager about it, and they had a chuckle. But they actually have a button. You can't just type that in with the touch systems, the POS service systems now.
Right.
You have to create a line item in your computer system so it shows up on the screen like all your food items and all your drinks. So someone went in there and pushed the bitching fee button and charged him $5
well, listen,
for it.
You can't. That's not fair. If you bring the wrong order, it can't be considered like complaining at all if you ask for the right order.
Right, I agree. If it was just complaining to complain,
yeah,
or being
you're like, man, it's too cold in here. Turn up the heat. It's too bright. Can you lower the shades? Like that to me. All right, $5 fee. You're kind of a pain in my butt.
Right. Now, I have seen like signs behind the bar before. That they'll joke around and be like, $5 if you complain, and $10 if you were rude, and one of those joke signs. I don't know if I've ever seen it show up on a receipt before. And reviews online are kind of mixed. Obviously, some people are saying, no way. There's no way this is happening.
I think it's kind of funny. But also, let me propose this. I want a percentage off for being expeditious. Charlie and I go into a restaurant, we sit down, we order right away, we eat, and we leave. We turn that table over within 30, 40 minutes. Give me an expeditious refund. Give me some type of 5% off for being efficient.
Okay.
For not hanging around and taking up a table all night.
Because in that time period, there may be another table or so that's there for a 2-table rotation.
Right.
But it's not you. You're getting new customers in there.
Right.
Restaurant's making more money.
That's right.
So give you a little 10% discount on your bill.
How about it?
That's interesting. Okay. I think if I had, I don't want to call it a run-in, but let's say I did complain about something and they fixed it and the bill shows up and it's a $5 bitching fee, I'm probably going to pay it. I'm going to laugh.
Nope.
I'm going to laugh and I'm going to pay it. You're
nope. I'm not paying that. You can't charge me a $5 bitching fee.
$5? Come
on. I don't care. I'm not paying.
That's another $5 if you complain about the bitching fee.
Right. Exactly. So,
what the hell?
Again, they didn't name the restaurant, but
vicious cycle.
I'm not totally against it. Just
I think it's really funny, but also if somebody notices it and complains, you have to take it off the bill, especially if you gave them the wrong order. That's not fair.
If the order was wrong, yes, it's their job to fix it for sure. But I say kudos. Good job on the
I'm going to stand there and bitch up to $100. And they could just keep adding it on.
And just keep adding it on.
Keep adding
like
it on.
Saturday school in the Breakfast Club.
I was just going to say, you want another one? That's another one.
I got you for life.
99.7 The Blitz.
Turn this car around.
I wonder if it's still used as much as it used to be. You're acting up with your siblings in the back seat. Your mom or dad says, stop, I'm going to turn this car around.
Yep.
If you're a parent and you've done that, I would love to hear why you turned the car around. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. I saw this story, and it absolutely cracked me up on how this one parent handled the whole bickering, turn this car around thing. Him and his wife planned a road trip to Disney World for them and their 2 kids. However, their two kids are siblings, and they're bickerers. They bicker with each other a lot. They're constantly separating them. And they knew this, 16-hour car ride was going to be a bit much with the two of them in the back seat. So this father devised a plan. On the day of the trip, he grabs the suitcases, puts them in the car, says, let's go, we're going to Disney World. And sure enough, within 10, 15 minutes, the kids are just poking and going at it. And it doesn't take long before the dad, he goes, I swear to God, I'm going to turn this car around if you don't stop. This continues for like another 25 minutes or so. They're only 45 minutes down the road. The dad pulls off the highway, makes the left, gets back in the highway the other direction, and goes on home. And the kids, he didn't really say anything. He just did it. And the kids are like, did we forget something? What's going on? They get home. Mom and dad get out of the car. They go inside. Kids sit in the car for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what's going on before the kids finally come inside. Like, what are we doing? Dad's like, no, I told you. You're gonna bicker the entire drive. We're not doing this. It's a long drive. We're not going. We're going to Disney World. It's canceled. If you want to act right, we'll go next week. You want to act right for the week and promise not to complain in the car, we'll go to Disney World next week. Next week arrived. The kids acted perfect the entire week. They get in the car. They go to Disney World. No problems in the car whatsoever. Kids acted perfectly. Here's the thing. That first trip a week ago was never going to be the trip. He knew he was going to turn the car around. He knew they were going to complain.
Oh, this guy's been a dad for a while.
Yes.
That is brilliant.
So he did. He took 90 minutes out of his day, 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes the other, knowing he was going to save the headache of the 16-hour drive a week later. That second trip was always going to be the trip to Disney World.
That's fantastic.
So smart.
Genius move.
Yes.
Teaching the kids a lesson for 90 minutes of your time. So I want to know, 800-821-9970, did you ever have the car turned around? What happened as a parent? If you're a parent now, or do you remember your parents turning the car around? Blitz, good morning.
Morning.
Hi, were you ever in a situation where you had to turn the car around?
I had to turn the car around on my 5-year-old son and my father-in-law.
What happened?
What?
We were in the parking lot for Kings Island, down just, Cincinnati area.
Yep.
My father-in-law started complaining to my son that he's 5 years old and he shouldn't have an imagination because it doesn't get you anywhere in life.
Oh, you can't tell a kid that.
Because he was telling him about his imaginary dragon. And my father-in-law went off on him about an imagination. I said, if you ever say anything like that again, I'm turning this car around right now and we're heading home.
Man.
He went to say something else. I turned the car around in the parking lot and drove an hour north back home.
Sorry, father-in-law.
Wow.
You're out of here. Yeah, you can't tell a kid that. Let the kid have his imagination. Thanks for the call, man. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. Kelly, did your parents ever turn the car around on you?
It was threatened, but we were more... my parents did not spare the rod, let's put it that way. So it was threatened. We kept bickering. My dad would just blindly, behind the wheel, start swinging his hand back into the back seat to catch one of the three of us. He didn't care who.
There are two types of parents. There are the parents that, didn't care and, basically buckshot the back seat with the arm and do whatever. But there were also the parents that somehow became, rear view mirror ninjas. They would take one peek in the rear view mirror and just be like, boop, and they would know exactly where you were sitting. But the reverse look, it's unbelievable. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. When did you have the car turned around on you? It's 99.7 The Blitz. I just told a story about a dad who actually went on a fake road trip because he knew his kids were going to bicker and bitch and moan in the backseat. He didn't want to deal with it. So he planned a fake road trip, turned the car around, and said, if you act right, we'll try again next week. And sure enough, that second trip was actually the real trip, and the kids didn't make a peep. Everything was fine. So I wanted to know, did you ever have the car turned around on you, or as a parent, did you ever turn the car around? Brittany, my mom would pull over and kick us out of the car
And then go on and just leave you there?
And just leave. I mean, I do know this happened once to me where I was kicking and screaming and didn't want to leave, like Toys R Us or whatever store it was. And my mom got in the car, pulled out, started driving down the parking lot.
Yep.
Like, pulled the whole, fine, I'm going. You can come with me or not, but I'm leaving. And started driving, and sure enough, there was me running through the parking lot. No!
That sounds like Rich. He said kids wouldn't stop their crap. I pulled over on an exit ramp, got out, walked away. Wife called me a half hour later saying they were crying, begging for me to come back. Most peaceful lunch ever.
How old are the kids, though? That's the question. Because if you're leaving, like, 6 and 7-year-olds in the car for a half an hour, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Mom was with them. They left the mom in the car.
Mom in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Let mom deal with it. All right. In that case, it's okay. But if you're just pulling over and leaving your 6 and 7-year-old sitting in the car, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Justin, he echoes a few texters who said, mine didn't turn around. They just beat our butts when we got to the destination. Yeah.
I remember we had an old, what was it, like a 79 Chevelle or something. It had, the bench seats in both the front and back. And I do remember a time or two, my dad kind of taking a tight turn. So you just slide right all the way and hit the other door. That'll concuss you and make you go to sleep. A little quiet time once you slam into the door. 800-821-9970, 99-700. Want to know if you've ever had the car pulled over or turned around on you. Because, parenting was a bit different. I'm very curious to know if anyone has done that recently, if that's still a threat.
I feel like I would threaten it. I don't have kids, but it'd be on the tip of my tongue because it was threatened to me. So it's just like in my, sort of in my bag of tricks.
I also wonder, here's the other question too, how much bickering is still happening in the back seats because of phones and iPads now.
Yeah,
they're not really paying attention to each other.
Yeah,
because our thing was more like, Mom, Kathy's touching me, you know, or whatever. You're like trying to poke and bug your siblings because there is nothing else to do.
Or whatever was in the back seat with you, like a box or even like a jacket or something, and you just push it a little bit closer to your sibling, and then they would push it back. And it was just that little inch of something being closer to you.
Mom, Kelly's putting her stuff on my side of the seat.
Oh, my gosh. See, I was an only child till I was 10, so I never had that.
Okay.
No siblings. There was no bickering going on, so I never had to worry.
My siblings were older. There wasn't a ton of, obviously, sibling rivalry there because of my sister being 16 years older and my brother 13 years older. They were out of the house by the time I was doing anything. Blitz, good morning. Hello, who's this?
Yeah, my name's Bill, bud.
What's up, Bill? Did you ever have to turn the car around, or did you get the car turned around on you?
Actually, I did it to my wife one day on Bryant Street. I left her and the dog in the car since we quit flipping, bud.
What happened?
I went to the store and she wanted to shut up, leave me alone, so I pulled over the car and got out and left her and the dog on Bryant Street.
Right on Broad Street.
So what happened next? Did you walk all the way home? Did you go back in 10 minutes? Did she come get you? What's that?
I walked all the way home and left her there, and she come pulling up 5 minutes later.
And what was that conversation like once she got home? Were you just like, I couldn't take it anymore?
It wasn't good. I left.
Oh, okay.
So that was the end of the relationship.
Okay, there you go.
You just kept on walking.
You Forrest Gumped that thing, and you were just,
oh, man.
I'm out. I love it. Well, thanks for the call, Bill.
The bad thing about that one is you think it's punishing the other person, but you're the one walking all the way home.
Right, now you have to walk all the way home. You jumped on that Nike Express, and it's wait a minute.
So much.
Ashley said my dad wouldn't turn around. He'd just throw my stuff out the window if I was acting up.
Okay. That's a move.
Fine. 800-821-9970 or 99-700.
Michael says, I remember my mom giving us Benadryl before going to SeaWorld.
Sleep right on.
Oh, just sleep the entire time.
Oh, that's great.
This is car sickness medicine. Go ahead and take this.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you allowed to drug your kids? Is that something that, you're like, hey, gee, no, just go ahead and take this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're supposed to do that.
I think you're supposed to do that, yeah.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
A woman whose pigs killed a neighbor in Pataskala has been ordered to pay a $200 fine. 51-year-old Cathay Bollinger pleaded no contest to a fourth-degree misdemeanor charge for failing to control the animals and was found guilty by a municipal court judge. Authorities say the two pot-bellied pigs escaped their enclosure and attacked 75-year-old Rebecca Westergaard on Christmas Day 2024. She bled to death on the front porch of her home. And the judge called the case almost surreal and said court officials were very surprised to find that there were not any more serious charges that were applicable in this case. Now, we just had that case of the mother and son who were just sent to prison for multiple years because their two dogs got out of an enclosure and killed a woman who was in her garden.
Yeah, $200 doesn't seem like enough of a fine.
Yeah, so you get two dogs who get out, and the dog owners are in prison for many years, and the dogs were put down. This woman's two pigs got out and killed someone, and there's nothing to charge her with except a fourth-degree misdemeanor, which is a $200 fine.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That math ain't mathin'.
There are specific laws in the Ohio Revised Code about dogs.
But nothing about pigs.
But nothing about pigs. You can get a failure to contain charge, and that's it.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
It's the same thing.
Pretty much.
I mean,
exactly.
but it's all in the wording. If they have it, like you said, for about dogs or canines or whatever the case may be, are they going to go and revise and be like, we need to add
pigs,
like all or just all animals that are in your possession,
right?
Basically,
seems like that would be a better wording.
I assume they could file a civil suit.
I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Autism diagnoses jumped significantly between 2020 and 2022. They have surged massively since 2000, and that's according to the latest report from the CDC. The report was released yesterday, and it says an estimated 1 in 31 8-year-olds was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder in 2022. 1 in 31. Wow. Now, it was 1 in 150 in the year 2000. So it's really jumped, the diagnoses. Researchers say that the rise is largely due to improvements in screening, and the causes of autism are still largely unknown.
And I think that is a way of looking at it in terms of what is who's considered on the spectrum now, and what they have learned over the years. From what was undiagnosed before to now being diagnosed.
Yeah, have they widened the spectrum?
Right.
I know they did add Asperger's to autism spectrum disorder, so you're not diagnosed with Asperger's anymore, you're diagnosed with autism.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But yeah, they're looking at factors like genetics, the age of the father at the time of conception, whether the mother had diabetes at conception, and carrying of the child, and exposure to certain chemicals. So we really don't know what's going on there. All right, actress Amanda Bynes, who has had a very public struggle with mental illness over the years, is the latest Hollywood star to join OnlyFans. But on Instagram yesterday says she won't be posting any sleazy content. She posted on, I think this is a genius move for Amanda Bynes, because no sleazy content. So she's not, I guess violating whatever, the standards that she has for content. But she says it is a way to get paid, basically, to interact with her fans. And I want to tell you, just only because it's been a little bit of a fascinating ride with Amanda Bynes, and I used to watch the Amanda Show with my nieces and nephews all the time. So I really, really like this person a lot, and I feel awful for what she's gone through. It's sort of a Britney Spears situation. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she posted yesterday that she's joined OnlyFans. She'll be using it to chat with fans if people want to pay monthly for her account. She says she will not be posting any racy content. And she did post on TikTok the other day that she's in the process of getting that heart tattoo on her face removed. So
I hope she can turn things around, because she did have a bit of a downfall, unfortunately.
Quite a large one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's one who was in a conservatorship for a while and then released from it. She does have diagnosed bipolar disorder and other mental disorders, and had a substance abuse disorder and all that. So yeah, I really hope for the best for her. I really like Amanda Bynes, and I hope that she makes a good amount of money.
What is it?
Doing what she likes to do, I guess, interact
I don't
with
think
fans.
She's going to. Who's going to subscribe to that? She's a former child star.
Right.
Who, I'm not saying, make your own choices. You make money on OnlyFans doing what you do. That's fine. But what is there? who's going to pay for that on OnlyFans if you're not doing any racy content? I don't understand what you're going to do.
I kind of feel like if you've seen the Britney Spears fandom, it's enormous. Amanda Bynes has got a similar fandom out there. If you're like...
Really?
If you're in touch at all with any of her social media accounts, which I am, she will get thousands of comments per post. Thousands. And I do feel like there is a segment of society who would pay to be able to chit-chat with Amanda Bynes.
But why OnlyFans? Get subscribers on YouTube or a podcast or like X. You can get subscribers and collect money that way. Why OnlyFans?
Get TikTok.
Yeah, get TikTok subscribers.
It takes a while to be able to make money, like producing content. All she has to do on OnlyFans is show up. Just show up and chit-chat. That's easy money.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, you don't have to produce content. You don't have to think of good ideas. You just get on there and talk about yourself and ask people questions about themselves. I don't know how OnlyFans works. Is it a two-way conversation? What's happening?
Right, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Well,
will you join?
She will not be getting. No, she will not be getting any of my money.
Okay.
That's not happening.
I want to know how much she's charging a month. Should I join and find out?
Absolutely.
I can't. It's like an Ashley Madison kind of thing that's going to come back. And,
we can do like an Amanda Bynes check-in once a week once you subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Okay.
See what she's doing.
All right, we'll see. All right, those are your three things.
Ball the Flex going to be at the Newport Music Hall this Saturday with Broken Habits, Tessa, This Day Forever, and Electric Dream Machine. Going to be a great show, and we want to save you $50. Tickets going for about $25 right now at AXS.com, but why not get them for free right now? 800-821-9970. It is time to throw down another Goose versus Kelly. We are going to do a game of Think Fast.
Okay.
So, we need two representatives. Kelly will be representing one person. I will be representing the next, and someone's going to walk away with Bubble Flex tickets.
And didn't yesterday have cause you guys to become tied now in your competitions?
No, I took the lead.
Oh, you took the lead?
Yeah, 5-4-1. Yeah, okay. 5-4-1. So, Kelly's opportunity to tie it back up now.
All right.
With a round to Think Fast. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Bob. How you doing?
Good, Bob. Do you want to be represented by Kelly or Goose?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes, Bob.
It's Kelly and Bob.
Oh, the dynamic duo, Bob and Kelly.
Hoorah.
Who am I going to have? Blitz?
Did he say raw?
He said hoorah.
Hoorah,
yeah. Amen.
Blitz, good morning. Who's this? Hello? Blitz?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Tim.
Tim. All right, Tim. Well, since you called in second, you are with me, Kelly and Bob, Tim and Goose. We're going to put you on hold. As your duly elected representatives, we are going to see who is going to win tickets. Today, we are playing Think Fast. It's very simple. Think's going to give us a category. First person to answer gets a point. Most points win.
I don't even know the category. Do you?
I think that, they're multiple, right? Or is it all revolving around one thing?
This will revolve around movie titles.
Okay.
I will simply give you an actor or an actress, and all you have to do is name any movie that he or she was in.
Oh.
Bob, we're sunk. This is not I cannot come up with names of things. I'm telling you right now. Unless Goose gets stumped and I have a few seconds to think, I'm sunk here.
And I'm a movie guy.
I'm not a movie girl either. I'm a TV girl. Oh, all right. Well, let me take a deep breath here and let's hope for the best. Bob, start praying, baby.
All right, think fast. Goose versus Kelly. Here we go. Movie titles.
Kelly.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I will name the actor. You name any movie they were in.
All right.
Sandra Bullock.
Top Gun.
Speed.
Yes, Goose. Kelly.
What?
You didn't think about the name. You were just ready to say the movie.
That's because that's just my strategy. Leave me alone.
That's my strategy. Throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Good
Okay.
Lord. Nicolas Cage.
Night at the Museum.
Oh, see?
That's
well,
not.
that's not. He's not in that. He's not
That's
in
the
that.
one with the Declaration
Face
of
Off.
Independence.
Face Off.
Face Off.
Oh,
In the National Treasure.
yeah.
Night at the Museum and National Treasure.
You got me on that. I was just thinking it was right for some reason. All right, here we go. Angelina Jolie.
Speed.
Wanted. No, Wanted.
What's that thing? Girl Interrupted.
That's a good one, but
did you get
answered-
it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You answered too late.
I haven't seen Wanted. I've never even heard of that. Is that right? Is that really our movie?
Yes.
No, it's not. Give it to me.
Where they curve the bullets.
I don't know that one.
It's a good action movie. You should check it out.
All right.
Well, yep, he's right. There she is. Second on the call sheet.
Yep.
All right, are we ready? Denzel Washington.
Malcolm X.
My God.
Don't bone me with this category anymore. I'm demanding it. I demand a recategory.
A non-boning.
Yes.
I request a non-boning. 4-0.
4-0.
Okay, do we have to keep the torture going? What's going on?
Chris Rock?
Chris Rock was in, what's the one with, what's her name? And it was, she played God and Dogma. Yes! Yes! Yes!
You just sat there.
I was just sitting in silence. I wanted her to get one. I was going to say Osmosis Jones, which is a great movie.
New Jack City.
New Jack City. Amazing movie.
Did you were really quiet just for me?
100%. I was going to say Osmosis Jones right off the bat.
Well, now that would make me even more angry that you were letting me get.
No, I'm not angry.
All right, how about...
I'm going to count to 3 this time before I answer.
Okay. That's the thing, is you can see how slow my brain works on these things. So there you go. I mean, I'm at a complete disadvantage. I need an IEP for this game. I'm not kidding. I don't operate like you do.
Kathy Bates.
So, what's it? The one
Misery.
Stephen King movie.
That's the one. Okay, we're done. Goose wins. Goose wins.
This wasn't even a competition.
Can we agree we're not doing this category anymore?
That category?
I can't do it.
I won't do that category
No more
anymore.
movies. We'll leave movies out of it.
Like names of anything. Names of anything.
Well, that's
the
fast.
game. That's what the game is.
Okay.
What were you saying earlier? Like, what if I said name a movie title without the letter L?
Yeah. No.
No? You could say Top Gun.
You could just blurt out Top Gun over and over. Tim, congratulations, man. We're going to hook you up with tickets for Boba Flex this Saturday. Bob, I'm sorry. You got boned worse than Kelly. I apologize. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
You know, I'd be a little irritated if I planned a day out, like with my son, or maybe a date, and you head downtown and you pay for parking, you get your seats to the ballpark, you're ready to enjoy a beer and a hot dog, and then all of a sudden, throughout the entire stadium, you just hear this terrible high-pitched squeal coming out of the PA system. This actually happened at a Braves game. Take a listen to this.
3-1 ball game now. A little buzz in the ballpark, and it's not the fans. And they've halted play, trying to figure out if that buzz will subside. But there's a whistling effect in the sound system.
There we go.
Oh, my tinnitus could never.
Right?
They did it.
The camera was panning around to, people in the stands. Some people had their fingers in their ears. Like, that's torture.
Can you imagine?
That is absolute torture. That high pitch of a noise.
I couldn't do it.
Throughout the entire stadium.
That's what the inside of my head sounds like all the time. I don't want to add something to it like that.
Do you have tinnitus?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is it always the same?
Nope, it's not. It's like worse sometimes and better sometimes. And a lot of times I don't even know it, especially if there's other noise happening. I hear that and not. But yeah, sometimes it is that bad where it just sounds like that constantly, especially at night and I'm laying down or I wake up from like a nap and for some reason my tinnitus is triggered.
Do they like treat that or what do they?
No, there's no treatment.
There's nothing.
No.
You just live with it.
You live with it. Yeah.
Man,
you can get like like some people have done like hearing aids with pink noise or something like that in it,
but drown it out or whatever.
Yeah, but mine is it feels manageable, and your brain does learn to adapt to it. So it doesn't, like when I first got it, I probably spent 3 months thinking I cannot live my life like this. That's how bad it is.
Well, here's the thing. I was just going to say, and I don't mean to be too dark, but I could see people having suicidal tendencies over that.
It is pretty awful.
But
then at some point your brain sort of clicks in and is able to kind of absorb it as part of whatever.
Everyday life.
Yeah. And again, like I said, certain things will trigger it to be worse. And I think something like that in a stadium might trigger.
How long have you been dealing with it?
I got it, I think, 2 years ago.
Oh, my God.
2 years ago. My husband's had it longer than I have. I know a lot of people who have it. A lot of people, every time we talk about it, a lot of people text in and say they have it.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun. So something like that, oh my gosh. Yeah. I couldn't deal with that in the ballpark.
All right, your second not-breaking news story comes from southeast Pennsylvania, where a woman, 47-year-old Crystal Goss, strolled into a Royal Farms convenience store in Hanover, Pennsylvania last week, about 30 miles south of Harrisburg there. The place has a refrigerator room with a big sign over it that says Beer Cave. If you've been into some of these liquor stores, you know they have a whole cooler that you're allowed to walk into, keep the beer cold, so you get yourself a cold six-pack or whatever. She walked into the Beer Cave, pushed a case of beer out of the way, pulled her pants down, and dropped a deuce right there on the shelves.
Oh, my gosh. Why?
Then she walked back out to her SUV and left.
What the heck?
Why? No one knows. It happened around 5 p.m. Here's the thing. The store didn't call the cops until 9:30 a.m. the next morning. It's not clear as to why they waited to call the police. But the entire front wall of the walk-in fridge is glass. It's not like she had a ton of privacy. A camera inside the fridge also got it on video.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, is there a possibility that she was so wasted that she thought she was in the bathroom?
Now, here's the thing. Police obviously didn't reveal a motive. They had to toss out about $80 worth of merchandise, obviously. And she is facing charges for open lewdness, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct, and creating a hazardous and physically offensive condition. The place does have a bathroom, and the bathroom is located right next to the Beer Cave. So was she so drunk and so high that she walked in thinking it was the bathroom and going, well, they really got the air conditioning on in this bathroom. It's kind of cold in here.
And there's no toilets.
Right.
I guess I just go here.
What is this, some fancy Japanese toilet in here? It's so nice and cool.
To put a pretty little bow on this entire story, this cooler crapper who ruined merchandise and defecated out in the open is the director of food and nutrition at the school district there.
Oh, yeah, you don't get to keep your job, I feel like, if you commit a crime like that.
Or
public pooping.
Right. Obviously, you don't know about food contamination or safety hazards. I don't think you should be the director of food and nutrition at a school.
Or you should at least have to go through some sort of retraining.
Yeah.
Just to sort of embed in your brain that you cannot poop in a beer cooler.
Yeah, they got to plop you down in front of a computer so you can rewatch those training videos.
Yes.
For sure. That is your not-so-breaking news. All right, it is time for your Blitz Morning Trivia, brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. And an interesting email here. I don't know exactly how I would react to this, but I don't know if it would affect me too terribly bad. Because this email says, I'm engaged to a guy who's been nothing but loving until last week. We went to a wedding expo, and at one booth with psychic readings, the woman looked at him, then gasped and said, "You've been married before, and she's still with you." He got super weird, refused to talk about it, and actually left early. Since then, he's been distant, and I don't know what to do. I did a little digging and found out that his ex-wife died 2 years ago in their house, unexpectedly. He never told me he was even married, never mentioned he was a widow, and now kind of questioning things. Even so much so, one of the reasons he doesn't bring it up is because he doesn't believe she's still with him. He kind of believes in ghosts. And it's like, wait a minute. You didn't tell me any of this before? And so it came to the question, is this enough to call off the wedding? Is this enough to end the relationship? Kelly, what are you going to do if someone busts out 2 years later a major life event like that they've been married before?
I'm thinking, I'm in love with this person, right? I am ready to walk down the aisle. We're planning the wedding, and I found out a major piece of information that you're refusing to tell me about. I am at the least postponing things until we have a long conversation about this whole thing. It's very important. This is enormously important when your significant other has suffered a loss like this.
Yeah.
It's a huge loss. And I understand that it's maybe too painful to talk about, but my friend, you are not ready to get married. You're not ready to get married if you cannot share this with the most important person in your life. Like, we've got to figure this out. And maybe it just takes one conversation. Maybe it takes some therapy. Maybe you need to postpone things or call it off. I don't know. But I would say we're going to not get married until we work through this because it's an issue.
Does it come down to the fact that if you're withholding this big of a piece of information, what else are you withholding? What else are you not telling me?
100%. I would be thinking that. I don't expect somebody to share every ounce of their life with me. I always think, like, past relationships, I don't need the details. I don't need to know. None of that. I'm fine with keeping that in the past. But if it comes to a marriage and a death, or an engagement and a death, I feel like that is something we should be talking about.
800-821-9970 or 99700. Did you ever find out, like, a major piece of information about your significant other a year or 2 years or 5 years into the relationship? Did it make you question anything? Would you still go through with this wedding if they dropped a bomb on you like this 2 years later, Thick? What are you thinking if someone drops a bomb on you like this?
I don't understand why he didn't tell her that... at least tell her that he had been married.
You would think.
I understand not telling her that she's still talking to him as a ghost because she might think he's crazy.
Yeah.
So I get keeping that from her, but why you wouldn't say, how could it not come up? You know, I don't know if she ever straight out said, have you ever been married? I don't know, but how would you not... I just feel like that would come up.
That would come up at some point.
Did they say how long?
2 years.
They've been together 2 years?
Yep.
Wait, his wife died 2 years ago and they've been together 2 years?
Let me see. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, the wife died 2 years ago. It doesn't say how long they've been together.
All right.
Honestly, that comes up on the first date.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
That I was married and my ex-wife died 2 years ago.
You became a widower just 2 years ago. You have to, if you guys are already talking marriage, you've been together, you got to believe at least a year, right?
Yeah.
Probably?
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, one of the first, I'm kind of stepping back into the dating realm.
Yeah.
This is the first date. This is kind of weird. My wife passed away, so...
I would have to ask, why did you not share this with me? We're supposed to get married 2 years ago. Maybe he thought she'd think it was too fast that he was getting involved. That soon after he lost.
And then it's like, how do I bring it up now? We've been dating 2 years.
Right. Yeah. Something I forgot to tell you many, many months ago. 800-821-9970 or 99700. How are you handling this situation? Or even more importantly, did you have a bomb dropped on you after being in a relationship for an amount of time, an extended amount of time, and all of a sudden you find out this crazy piece of information? Blitz Therapy brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. An email from Michelle. She's engaged to a guy who's been nothing but loving until last weekend when they went to a wedding expo, and there was a psychic there and looked at the man and says, "You've been married before, and she's still with you." And sure enough, Michelle finds out that her fiance was previously married, and the wife died unexpectedly about 2 years ago. And now she's kind of questioning everything. Like, wait a minute. How did this not come up? How did we not talk about this? How did you not mention this to me? Which, that's a pretty big piece of information to leave out. And someone texted in and said, when you apply for a marriage license, it asks if anyone's been married, and you have to bring a death certificate or a divorce decree with you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's going to come out eventually.
Right.
So why would you try and hide something like that? I don't understand.
Somebody said maybe the ghost is telling him not to say anything.
Oh, yeah, he talks to his
He does talk to his ex. Yep. How would you handle this? Or would you, or have you found out a piece of information after having been in a long-term relationship? Like Evelyn, 4 months after the wedding, I found out his license was suspended and his student's loan were in default. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you got to get that financial information out there. Got to make sure you're on the same page when it comes to financial stuff.
Nikki says, 23 years of marriage, and I will scream from the rooftops of the 4 affairs I caught since August.
Oh, no.
He also has my Sonic Temple bracelet. I'm more salty about that.
Oh, he's got to give that. You got to call your lawyer. He's got to give it back. He's got to give you that. You can't make.
She says it's going to probably go to his next victim.
Yeah, if he bought them. if he bought the bracelets,
they were married. So that's
joint
couple's property.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to get through the whole divorce decree and the separation of property in the next 3 weeks.
Well, I know, but I don't think you're allowed, if you've gotten to this point, I don't think you're allowed to just go out and blow both of your stuff. I don't think you're allowed to lay claim to anything until you go through the process.
Hey, I don't know. What are you going to do? Sue for $225 or $400? I mean, for a bracelet?
My guess is that Nikki wants out of this so fast that just give the bracelet to somebody else. She can get another one.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Keith says it's not that crazy. Everybody deals with death differently. You can't assume. My mother died when I was 15. My first girlfriend died when she was 17. 2 brother-in-laws and my stepmother all committed suicide. The last thing this guy needs is for her to leave him. Trust me, he's dealing with it the best he knows how.
I totally understand people deal with death in different ways, for sure. But being in a committed relationship, I don't think that's a piece of information.
When one side is sharing their life and the other side's picking and choosing what information you're allowed to have about them, seems like a weird imbalance.
100%. I would be a bit taken aback. Again, I don't know if I'm going to end the relationship over it.
I would.
But definitely a conversation as to why did this not come up. Blitz, good morning. Hello, Blitz. Are you there?
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Yes. This is Miranda.
Miranda, are you ending a relationship over something like this, or did you find out a truth bomb after being in a long-term relationship?
Sorry, I actually called to find out about tickets that I purchased the other day. I wasn't even listening to the radio.
Well, that's okay. Well, we will absolutely get you the information you need. We appreciate you calling. You just hang on, and we'll get you all the information you need about your tickets, okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hang on one second. Appreciate your input on the subject there. 800-821-9970 or 99700. Did you find out a truth bomb after being in a long-term relationship?
Man. Everybody wants to know who the psychic is because it sounds like they're on point.
Yeah. I mean, she knew.
Yeah. How did she know? I'll tell you what. I did not personally have this experience, but my mother had we didn't come from a family that does the psychic thing, but I have an aunt who was very much into it. And she actually flew in a psychic from New York one time and had like a house party, like a personal reading. And she invited my mom, and my mom reluctantly said, all right, I'll come. And so the women are still sitting there, and the psychic comes in. She goes, all right, there's a man here. His name starts with an M. Does anyone know someone that started with an M? And my father's name was Mark. And so everyone looks at my mom. And she goes, yeah, I was married to Mark. He passed away a couple years ago. And the psychic says, okay, Mark says, don't worry, everything's fine. He's at the restaurant watching over your son right now. And this was 3 months after I opened up a restaurant in Colorado Springs.
Man.
And my mom was like, wait, what?
What?
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to know that information.
Wow.
So to be that kind of pinpoint in the whole thing is...
I don't mess with that because I kind of believe there's something there, and I'm afraid of what's going on there spiritually. It really worries me. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll find out about my life when it happens.
Right, you don't want to fight. Right, you
don't
want to know what's going on. Absolutely.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
This is an end of a long era in Chillicothe. 800 jobs will be eliminated when the Pixel paper mill closes. The president of the company made the announcement yesterday. Production is being moved to a plant in Pennsylvania. If you know anything about Chillicothe, you know that there has been a paper mill there for more than 200 years. Locals call it the Mead because Mead owned it for more than 100 years, but it has been through several owners, most recently Pixel. The paper mill industry has been a cornerstone of the Ross County economy. So this is a big gut punch to that community. I mean, that's pretty much what Chillicothe is known for. So that's a very sad thing to see that industry go away there. Kim Kardashian will testify in person at an upcoming trial over the 2016 heist in Paris, in which armed robbers allegedly tied her up, locked her in a bathroom while they stole millions of dollars worth of her jewelry. 10 suspects accused of armed robbery, kidnapping, or other criminal charges are going on trial in Paris starting April 28th. How does this take 11 years to prosecute?
Yeah.
9 years. Sorry.
Yeah.
9 years. How does this take 9 years to prosecute?
So these guys have been roaming the streets for 9 years,
I
waiting
don't really
for their
know.
trial? That's insane.
I don't know. It took place in a Paris apartment. Kardashian was staying there for Paris Fashion Week. Very frightening episode for her. You'd think that they'd be able to get a case together before 9 years.
9 years, right.
Google and the Wild Dolphin Project are collaborating on using AI to understand dolphin language. The Wild Dolphin Project has been studying a community of Atlantic spotted dolphins off the coast of the Bahamas since 1985. So this group has decades worth of audio and video recordings. With Google's help, researchers fed all of that data into an AI model that can look for patterns and subtleties that are unnoticed by humans. The Wild Dolphin Project says that the goal is to one day speak dolphin. Researchers know that dolphins communicate in whistles, clicks, and squawks, and they have been trying two-way communication with underwater computers for a long time, but it's been a painstaking process. But now with AI technology, they are expecting things to move forward much more quickly. So I don't know what you're going to get out of being able to talk to dolphins, but I don't know. It's kind of neat.
They're gonna have a scuba diver head on down.
Yeah.
They're gonna translate, and it's gonna be like, "Get out of my house, dumbass!"
Yeah, sick of people swimming around here. Yeah, I don't know. So that's the latest in AI, I guess. And those are your three things.
Who doesn't love a good unlimited deal? I mean, Olive Garden's been doing it for a while, the unlimited pasta passports or whatever you can buy. It almost put Red Lobster out of business. Their unlimited shrimp promotion. They had to redo that. Well, now there's another restaurant stepping up with the bottomless burger pass, and it is Red Robin. Yum!
Yum!
And Red Robin's got some good burgers.
Red Robin.
Big fan. May is National Burger Month, and Red Robin is celebrating with a bottomless burger pass. Now, this might be a bit much. I mean, the deal is $20, so they're going to sell out super fast. The pass will get you a burger and a bottomless side every day in the month of May. That's the thing.
It's not endless burgers.
Yeah, well, I mean, a bottomless burger pass. You get, not endless. Well, you get a burger every day. And like the endless sides, your bottomless fries. But for $20, it's usually $13-15 for a burger there.
Okay, this will cost you customers when you pull crap like this.
Why you say that?
Well, you just said it doesn't even cost that much to buy the burger.
$20 for the pass for the entire month. A burger every single day.
And you don't pay for that burger?
No, the $20 pass.
I'm sorry, I completely misunderstood.
You pay $20, you get the burger pass, you get a burger and bottomless fries every single day for the month of May for Burger Month. That's the only thing.
That's an incredible deal.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I'm sorry, I thought the pass was for just the endless side, and you still had to buy the burger every day.
No. You will get a burger and a bottomless side every day. It'll be available at redrobin.com starting tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So you might want to set an alarm because I guarantee these are going to sell out. I mean, even if you have a burger once a week, you're still getting 75% off.
Yeah.
If it's going to cost you $20 to eat there, 3 out of the 4 days is going to be free. That's an amazing deal. Now, the bottomless burger pass, good for $22 worth of food and beverage every day. $682 is basically the max value, and you're getting it. If you were to use it every single day, you'd be getting $682 worth of stuff, and you're paying $20 for it.
I mean,
that's a pretty good deal.
If you're eating there on a regular basis, you'd be crazy not to do it.
I think I'm going to try and jump on this.
Red Robin.
I wonder how much. I think what I'll do is I'm going to try. If I get one of these, if it works, I'm going to set my alarm for 11 o'clock. I'm going to weigh myself on May 1st. And then weigh myself on May 31st and see how it affects me. Because I could definitely eat a burger. Maybe not every single day, every other day I would definitely be going.
I have a confession.
What's that?
I've never eaten Red Robin.
It's a good burger.
I hear that all the time. I just, for whatever reason, have not had it.
Might have to go.
I think I will.
Might have to go for lunch. Yeah. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Set your alarm for that bottomless burger pass from Red Robin 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up this morning. Did you know? Remember Pogs?
Yeah.
The little cat thing.
Yeah.
Blast each other and collect Pogs.
Yeah.
They got their name from a Hawaiian brand of juice that's called Pog Juice.
Okay.
Pog stood for pineapple, orange, guava. Big in Hawaii.
But why is that?
I don't know.
What does that one have to do with the other?
I don't know. But that's where the name comes from. Have you ever listened to the radio and you hear a little static in there?
Yeah.
Back in the day when you had to tune the radio, you had to find that perfect spot.
Right.
Sometimes a little left, sometimes a little right. Now with digital radio, it's a little different, but you still get a static every so often. The static you hear on your radio is caused by the radiation field around Jupiter.
I've been in radio all this time and I never knew this.
I did not know this either. I don't know how they figured that out. That's a crazy tidbit of information. But there you go. The most commonly found items in lost luggage are underwear, women's size 10 pants, men's size 11 Nike shoe,
okay,
and iPhones.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, who's putting their iPhone in their luggage, though? My phone is staying with me. Unless you leave your baggage, you left it on the plane.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how do you forget that? So, here's a little tidbit. Bluetooth. We all love Bluetooth. It's all across our house now, in your car possibly. Bluetooth is named after a 10th century Scandinavian king whose name was Harald Bluetooth. He united Danish tribes into one kingdom. So when Bluetooth technology was invented, they picked the name because it unified the way machines communicate with each other.
Okay.
So they went with Harald Bluetooth.
By the way, you know how people complain when people just out in public are talking on their phone out loud?
Yeah, on the speaker.
Okay. The Bluetooth counts. I just want to let everybody know you're still doing it. When you're walking through the neighborhood and you got the Bluetooth in, you're not using your phone, but you're using the Bluetooth, you're still talking out loud, just so you know. Just letting you know.
Yeah, but I think that's different than walking around with your speakerphone on.
I'm still hearing your conversation. I just want you to know I can hear you.
Well, yeah, but that's the same as holding the phone up to your ear.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same as the phone. It still counts.
Right, but again, that's... What, you saying no one should answer their phone in public?
No, I'm saying you're letting the public hear your phone call.
Yeah.
I know. I don't get it.
I hate it when people talk on speakerphone. It's like,
then
I don't
you hear
need
both
to hear...
of them.
Yeah, I don't need to hear that. And finally, if you've been to Las Vegas, there are all kinds of great themed hotel casinos out in Vegas, but you need approval from city council for your hotel. Of course, they have to approve the city plans and where it's going to go and what they're going to do, but they have to approve the theme of your hotel. Yes.
Why?
And there have been a bunch of proposals made to Las Vegas City Council for casinos that have been turned down. Themes that have been turned down include the Titanic-themed hotel casino, a moon-themed hotel casino.
What's wrong with that?
A WWE hotel and casino.
For that, you could probably get into some legal issues.
Well, I bet it's the WWE that's trying to open it.
Oh, you're probably right.
A Playboy hotel and casino, London, San Francisco, and the Caribbean. All for various reasons. None of those happened, and all those were turned down.
I want to know why. That's what I want to know from this is why each one specifically. I mean, what's wrong with Caribbean theme or a moon theme? Or
the moon theme would be an entire hotel casino based off the moon.
What's like space? You would have all kind of space stuff.
Yeah, I could totally see the WWE being one. I could totally see the Playboy being one. But the Titanic? Yeah. I'm not staying at a hotel themed after the Titanic.
Comes with a door laying on.
Well, see, I think what they would do is they would have tables, big tables, made for two.
Yeah.
But they would only put one person at the table.
And it would look like a door.
And it would look like a broken door, yeah. We know there's clearly room for two people, but no, you only get one. There you go, learning some stuff on a Wednesday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.